And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and it is time to finish the rankings. I know I've been putting it off. I know it's been taking me a while. It's kind of like detox, but I'm gonna get through them eventually when I have time. So today we're gonna be ranking the best power forwards in NBA 2K22 My Team. I'm glad I did wait on the power forwards and the centers because we did get a decent amount of options of which that I can outrank. So that's cool. You guys know the parameters already, but if you're new here, let me let you know. S tier, unquestionable best. A tier, just a shade under S tier. I'll explain why. B tier, this is what majority of the community is going to use. These are more than usable power forwards. C tier, still usable in some capacity. Maybe they do 2 to like 4 things really well. I try to do like a 5-point system in regards to how I rank these cards. D tier, specialist cards. Maybe they do 1 or 2 things really well or just well. F tier, they're usable in certain capacities. Maybe like you can use them to do like one certain thing, but that's about it. And then trash tier, they're trash. There's not a whole lot of trash tier cards. I think the power forwards have the most though, because I just feel like we've gotten the most power forwards and shooting guards this year. I feel like every other position and small forwards, like power forward, small forward, and shooting guards are where we got the absolute like most of this entire year. All right, let's get started. Reward Amethyst Anthony Davis, unevolved like D. Evoed, he's like C tier somewhere. Like he's got the 83 pointer, he plays pretty okay. He's just a free Anthony Davis. They're all kind of the same, you know, they're kind of good, but not really. Bob Pettit, B tier. He's kind of actually fast on his feet. He does require some badge upgrades for sure, so he's definitely going to be towards the bottom of B tier. Maybe I'm just high on Bob Pettit in general. I like Bob Pettit a lot, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I think like low B tier would make sense for Bob Pettit. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. When you see me rank a card, feel free to jump in the comments and be like, hey, I don't think he should be there. I'm not going to get offended unless you're rude. You know what I mean? Derek Jones Jr. He's just super outdated. He's still not F tier though, D. Elton Brand, D. Elton Brand's not really that good. He might be a little too good for D tier though, but I'm gonna hold him there for now. Kevin Love, C. I mean, he's just worse than Issel basically. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him in C tier. It'll make more sense once everything shakes out, I think. I just don't think Kevin Love's quite good enough to go in B tier. Yes, I would use Bob Pettit over him. Larry Nance, B. There's inevitably going to be some psycho that rolls up and is mad because I put Larry Nance in B tier and he thinks he should be like A or S tier or something because he's just free Giannis. But like Larry Nance is good. Yes, I agree with that sentiment for sure. And when you're looking at it right now, you know, I rank within the tiers too. So like Larry Nance will probably be towards the top and not Larry Nance, Bob Pettit will probably be towards the bottom. So they're not ranked equally, if that makes sense. Lauri Markkanen, D. He can shoot okay. He can block some shots. That's about it though. Batum. This card was so good. I hope we get a new Batum soon. I hope we get a shooting guard playing Batum soon. Because this Batum card was so nasty when he came out. Rick Barry. I hate Rick Barry so much. If you like Rick Barry, he's post-Evo. He's probably like D tier. But I hate him and his hairpiece. And Silvio Dante. Yes. Robert Covington. All right. He doesn't look like Silvio Dante, but I just watched the Many Saints and found out that he wears a hairpiece, and that's something I've always thought about for a while, so I'm pretty excited about it. C. Scotty Barnes would also be C tier as well. I like Scotty Barnes a lot. I hope we get a new card. Personally, I hope they keep his base 11, just put it on quick, because I actually really like it. Or they give him Scottie Pippen base, whatever they want to do. I don't care. Just those two things. Thurl Bailey. A tier. No question about it. Thurl is A tier. You could argue S tier, and I think the only thing that keeps him out of S tier is that you can't upgrade his badges. That's literally it. He is significantly better than Larry Nance. I'll say that right now. Zion. I think he's still low B tier. It's not very good, though. Al Harrington. I think there's 2 Al Harringtons on this list for some reason. The same card, so if you see me just drag one into the ether, just mind your business. But Al Harrington's probably like the worst card in C tier. Amari, D. He wasn't very good at the time. He's not good now. Jerry Lucas, outdated, so I would put him in D. He's like worse than Markkanen for sure. John Collins, B. John Collins is going to be low B tier. People are going to be upset about Larry Nance. I'm going to move him up here to A for now until the list shakens out, because people like don't watch the list and listen to what I'm saying, so they're going to be upset every second that he's in B tier. It'll make more sense. Amari Stoudemire. I actually think Amari's kind of good, like B. He's decent. Dunktober Dork. D, I would say. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Masked Karolinko, I think is still like low C tier. Still good. Beast Karolinko is A tier for sure, though. Borderline S tier. I'm being completely serious. Anton Jameson. He's like the best card in D tier, I think. Chuma Okiki, I love this card. He's a little small. I try to rank the cards based on how good they are, not just by their primary position. I just use the primary position to like sort them for ranking purposes. But as a small forward, Chuma's actually pretty good. I don't think I would necessarily use him over Robert Covington, but like, it's possible. I might. Anton Jameson, B. Yeah, he's like the best card in B tier. See, it's going to make more sense, I promise. When Larry Nance heads back down to B tier, it's going to make more sense. Flash Anthony Davis is still low B tier. Like, there's going to be a lot of cards in B tier. I can promise you that. Big Scal? Big Scal is C tier, for sure. He's not much different than Al Harrington. He's actually pretty good. Beast Anthony Davis, A. NBA 75 Anthony Davis is S tier because of his ability to get range and chef and stuff like that. Beast Anthony Davis still very good, but him not being able to get either range extender badges does kind of hurt his value, but he's still good enough without them to be A tier for sure. When it comes to the 3 cards in A tier, I mean, you could realistically rank them however it's all personal preference. Some people are going to like AD, some people are going to like Thurl, some people are going to like AK, but they're all A tier, you know? Antonio McDyess. McDyess is still kind of good. If he could shoot a little bit better, I guarantee I'd put him in A tier. He's really that good. The Crow Show. He's still D tier. He's not very good. Jermaine O'Neal, F. he's outdated. He can bang in the post though. Billy Cunningham. I want to put him in B tier, but he's 6'6", so that kind of hinders me a little bit, but I'm thinking about it. Just know that. I'm going to put him here for now because I actually really like this card. Yo, my boy Tom Chambers, let's go. He's actually pretty good. B. Nah, if Tom Chambers is up in B, yeah, Billy Cunningham gets to go. Rashard Lewis is actually nice. I would put him in B tier. I might actually have to move Larry Nance up because B tier is looking pretty gross right now. Amethyst Big Blake, D. I kind of didn't like this card at the time, so Belinka probably also D. He's kind of like sluggish and slow. I hate Glenn Big Baby Davis. If you like him, I don't know, dude. Doing his challenges was infuriating. I hate this card so much. Obadiah Toppin, B. Obi Toppin's really good. I mean, he was really good last year. It should really come as no surprise, honestly. 'Tis the season, Big Blake. I mean, low B tier. C tier. He's not really that good. Diamond Bob Pettit. In the outdated white guy section of D tier. There's always an outdated white guy section. F tier Bojan. I hate Bojan. How many times I had to use that dude in draft, I can't give him love. Bull. Yeah, Bull is still Bull. C. Boris Diaw. He's still like high C tier. Boris Diaw is still good. JT Thor is like the best card in C tier. I might use JT Thor. No, I wouldn't use him over Anthony Davis. I'm not insane. Like, this is a pretty good card, but like, he's not as good as Pink Diamonds even from like 2 months ago. You know what I mean? 2K has been a lot better about power balancing. Like, the Amethysts that we're getting now are only moderately better than the ones we got like a month ago. Brian Cook. Shout out to my boy Brian Cook. He does kind of suck though. Calvin Nat. He's still good, but C. Just a little outdated. I might drop AD. I might. Charlie Villanueva, yo, shout out to Charlie V. Charlie V is kind of nice, C tier. He's tight. Chemezi Metu, I think he's like the best card in D tier. Michael Porter Jr. goes in D tier as well. Put him by the sharpshooter guys. He's a little outdated for sure. I think the list goes is like this. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Chris Bosh, he's super outdated. And for that reason, I'm going to put him in D tier because there's absolutely no reason to be running this card. He might be good enough to get placed in C tier, but he's super outdated. Iced out Chris Bosh is B though. Like, he's still a top tier big man in this game for sure. That being said though, at the power forward position, no way I'm taking Chris Bosh over Karolinko, Thurl Bailey, or either of the ADs. Truly. And you can make a case for Larry Nance based on his defensive prowess, but I don't know. Chris Webber, he's outdated, but he's still like low C tier. My boy Clark Kellogg, yeah, he's better than Bojan. Cliff Robinson, I kind of forget this card exists, to be honest. I probably put him like right here. No, he's pretty good. I put him right next to like McDice, basically. Dan Issel, my boy. Yeah, no, Dan Issel's like incredible. I love this card so much. I really do. You can tell me whatever you want about that card. Danny Manning, he needs a new card ASAP. Straight up. David West is kind of decent. I put him in like C tier. He's okay. Rodman's outdated. D. This hurts my soul. So this Dennis Rodman, he's good defensively. So I'm going to put him in B, I think. This Dennis Rodman is like higher up in B, though. He doesn't get the shooting badges, so I'm going to put him in C, actually. Like Billy, I would use Billy Cunningham and Tom Chambers over this version of Dennis Rodman for sure. Ronnie. Shout out to Ronnie. He's actually legitimately got one of my favorite jump shots in the game, and that is sickening to think about. I'm going to throw him in D tier. Sorry, dude. Rui's D tier as well. Derek Jones Jr. I think I just disrespected so many cards in D tier. DJJ is over here, like C. He's like C tier somewhere. He's like okay. Pretty decent. Big Dirk. Sorry, Big Dirk, but yeah, you're going in C as well. Big Dolph. Low. Yeah, low B tier for Mass Dolph and then non-Mass Dolph. Because he does still have endgame defensive tendencies and a wet jump shot. But this one's probably like C tier. Yeah. Sabonis, D, and then this one will go in C tier. He's okay. Not very good, though. Danielle Marshall, he's the best card in F tier. Draymond, outdated, D. This Draymond, I would say, is still B tier, like low B tier. This Draymond can still get it done. I would probably use him over Zion, personally. Tyrone Hill, yeah, F. Oh, I left the other Draymond in here. I'm just going to put him at the bottom. They're essentially the same. It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's not supposed to be here, but trash. Tom Chambers is pretty bad, so I'd put him in D tier. Shout out to my boy Dario Saric. What's he up to right now? Is he in the league? I honestly don't know. Amethyst Evan Mobley. For sure, C tier. I like this card a lot. Aaron Gordon. As much as I like Aaron Gordon, his time has passed. He's not quite B tier anymore, but I do like the card a lot. Shout out to my boy Aaron Gordon. Remember when he was in? You know, I was going to start talking about Aaron Gordon in the dunk contest, but like the dunk contest was pretty bad this year, but Cole Anthony did dunk in Tim's on looking like Riley Freeman. That was pretty cool. Juan Toscano Anderson with the Mexican flag jersey was pretty tight. That was pretty tight as well. Obi Toppin was out here crushing it and like shoot around and doing way cooler dunks than he did in the actual like dunk contest. And then I just watched like these dunk contest guys who have like actual dunk contests with them, with like each other on YouTube afterwards. And I was like, why doesn't the NBA just get these guys? These guys are doing really cool stuff. Just make these guys compete. I don't even care. I don't want to see third string NBA players doing dunks. Just bring in some randos, bro. I don't care anymore. Carlos Boozer. C. George McGinnis. Yeah, trash. Mystic Giannis. Oh, man. I think people are going to be upset about this, but I think he's like B tier. He's not really that good. He's not. I'm sorry. NBA 75 Giannis, I think, is still A tier, though. He's got the Giannis player bill, which is huge. His jump shot's really good this year, and you can add any badge you want to this one. So for that reason, I'd put him low A tier. Yeah, this Giannis is S for sure. Jabari Parker. Shout out to my boy Jabari. F. I just shouted him out and then threw him in F. That's pretty fucked up, man. Jay Crowder. This was my boy early game. If you watched me in the beginning of the year, I loved this Jay Crowder. Just Sean Tate. Okay, this card is actually kind of nice, dude. He's 6'4" at the small forward, which is not ideal for in any way, shape, or form, but he's good. Jamal Hashburn. Yeah, C tier. We need another Jamal Hashburn ASAP. James Worthy's kind of bad at this point. Sorry. Jaren Jackson Jr. is fire. B tier for sure. High B tier, I would say. yeah, this is how I would probably rank it right here. So I would rank it Larry Nance, no. Dan Issel, Larry Nance, Anton Jameson, Bosch, Toppin, Jaren Jackson, McDyess, Giannis, Cliff. I would use Cliff over Giannis, honestly. Rodman, yeah, okay. Jared Vanderbilt, he's actually kind of decent, like low C tier. Jeff Green, D, somewhere in the outdated section of D. This one's a hot take for sure, but I think Yee is S tier. Maybe it's not a hot take. I think a lot of people bang with Yee this year, so that's not really a hot take. He's one of the best big men in this entire game. Jonathan Isaac, he's still high C tier. I'm not going to wild out and put him in B tier, but Isaac's still good. Josh Smith, outdated. This Josh Smith, I think, is legitimately B tier, though. Like, he deserves to be B tier. He's good. Julius Randle, D. Juwan Howard, you know, I was going to put him in F tier, but he did bitch slap the Wisconsin coach, which was pretty cool, setting off some sort of brawl the other day, which is pretty dope. High D tier for him for that. I put him right next to Ronnie so Ronnie can get intimidated. Yeah. This Karl Malone's actually decent, though. Like, it's C tier. I've used him enough now after you guys have requested him in every single Rate My Squad video that he's actually decent. Kenny Martin, he plays good D, but no, I put him D tier. Rodman's pretty bad. Trash. Sorry. Garnett is still B tier adjacent. I would put him like John Collins level, I think. John Collins is a little bit better. Big Blake. This one's tough, but I would put him in B tier. He's not quite A tier or S tier. He's pretty good, but he's stats-wise, he is geared more towards playing center. He's not really that good of a power forward. And at the center, he's a little small, so he kind of doesn't have a place, and for that reason, I would put him in B tier. Now, you can use him at both positions just fine, but he doesn't really excel either way for those reasons. You know what I mean? Kevin Willis. Shout out to Kevin Willis, but D tier. Kurt Rambis. This hurts. We need a glitch Kurt Rambis ASAP. Lamarcus Aldridge. This one might be tough to reason with, but I think he's like high B tier or low B tier. Lamar Odom. Shout out to my other Lamar Odom, C tier. Larry Legend. B. Larry Legend still B. This one I would put in low C tier. And then Pink Diamond one I would probably still put in like high C tier. I would say that's accurate. Larry Johnson. This one hurts my soul too, but he's just not that good. This Lowry Markkanen, F. Evan Mobley. Hot take. I think he's A tier. He's borderline S tier if I'm being completely honest with you. This card is insane. I just sold mine. Kind of bummed out about it. Marvin Bagley. C. No, Mobley actually is insane though. Like, he's really good. His player build is huge. He just can't dribble. That's the only issue. Mo Lucas. He has big dribble style, which is horrible. Mo Lucas goes by Antonio McDyess in B tier. Miles Bridges, this one's okay, just outdated. This one's pretty decent. He's just 6'6". That's it. This Obi Toppin, I would throw in C tier. This one's pretty good. Otis Thorpe, I don't know why he's here. Siakam, F. This Siakam towards the top of B tier. I like him a lot. I know some people don't like him, but I like him. Millsap, low C tier. Paul Silas, he's outdated, but C tier. Sorry, I'm speeding through this. I want to go eat my food that I got, so sorry. PJ Tucker, C tier. I don't care if he's 6'5". I like PJ Tucker a lot. Suck it. All right. Rick Barry's trash. I hate him. I hate this one even more. This Jaron Jackson is like C tier. He's still really good, actually. This Jaron Jackson's more than usable still. Robert Horry, my boy, gets C tier. Love Robert Horry. Rudy, come on. You know my boy Rudy's coming in here into B tier, kind of in the middle somewhere. Serge Ibaka is a little outdated. This Serge Ibaka is more than usable still. I'd put him right next to Kevin Garnett. I would be willing to say that Serge is even a little bit better than Garnett, personally. Kemp's a wee bit outdated. Put him in C tier. Steve Novak, D. Stro Miles Swift, yeah, C tier, the Stro show. I've been asking for him for years. I'm just happy we finally got one. Terry Cummings isn't that bad, but he's still like C tier. Thaddeus Young, I would say, is probably C tier as well, somewhere towards the top. I think Bagley actually might be one of the best cards in C tier. Like Bagley, Rodman, Larry Bird. Yeah, this looks good. James Big Shot Worthy. As much as I like this card, I just think that there's a lot wrong with him, and he's missing a lot of badges, but I still think he's like low B tier. This card's got no love ever, and I still think he's actually pretty good. Timmy D, the outdated section. This Tim Duncan, I would say, is C tier. This Tim Duncan, I would say, is probably B. He can still hold it down on the interior. There's just better options now. That's it. Trey Lyle's actually kind of good. C tier. My boy Zach Randolph. I love Zebo, but he's like C tier. This Zion is pretty trash. He's like low C tier. Anyways, let me know what you think of the list down in the comments below. As always, has been your boy Chief Ludes. Like I said, sorry I had to speed it up, get it rolling quickly. You know, I do want to go eat food. So, anyways, you know, if you disagree with anything, jump in the comments. Let me know what's up. Just be nice about it. That's all I ask. And I'll be back with the center tier list at some point. Peace.